There's something we all carry with us, something heavy, something we've been taught to hide, to fix, to apologize for. It's the parts of ourselves we think aren't good enough, the mistakes we've made, the ways we've fallen short of who we thought we'd be by now. We live in a world that constantly whispers, sometimes shouts, that we need to be different, thinner, smarter, more successful, less emotional, more put together. The message is always the same. You are not enough as you are. But what if that message is wrong? What if the very thing we've been fighting against, ourselves, is actually where our freedom begins? Today, I want to talk about something radical, something that goes against everything we've been taught. I want to talk about acceptance, not the kind that gives up or settles, but the kind that sets you free. Think about how much energy you spend each day in battle with yourself, replaying conversations, criticizing your reflection, punishing yourself for not being further along. We become our own worst critics, our harshest judges. We treat ourselves with a cruelty we would never show to anyone we love. And here's the thing, this war we wage against ourselves, it's exhausting. It drains us of the very energy we need to actually grow and move forward. We've somehow convinced ourselves that self-criticism is the path to self-improvement, that if we're just hard enough on ourselves, we'll finally become who we're supposed to be. But it doesn't work that way. It never has, because you can't hate yourself into a version of yourself you love. The truth is you are imperfect. You always will be. You'll make mistakes tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that. You'll have moments of weakness, of doubt, of falling short. And so will everyone else around you. This isn't a flaw in your design. It's part of being human. But somewhere along the way, we forgot that being human means being imperfect. We started believing that our flaws make us less worthy of love, less deserving of happiness, less valuable as people. And that belief has been quietly destroying us from the inside out. Here's something beautiful and strange. The moment you stop fighting who you are is often the moment real change becomes possible. When you're constantly at war with yourself, all your energy goes into resistance, into pushing away, denying, hiding. But when you finally stop resisting and simply acknowledge what is, this is where I am, this is who I am right now, something shifts. Acceptance isn't giving up. It's not resignation or defeat. It's simply seeing reality clearly, without the filter of what you wish were true. It's the difference between standing in quicksand, fighting desperately, sinking faster, and finally being still enough to find solid ground. Think about it this way. You can't heal a wound you won't acknowledge. You can't navigate to where you want to go if you refuse to see where you are. Acceptance is that honest look in the mirror, not with judgment but with clarity. And when you can look at yourself, really look at yourself, flaws and all, and say, this is me, and that's okay, something remarkable happens. The shame loosens its grip, the fear quiets down, and suddenly you have space to breathe, space to think, space to actually become. Life will bring you things you didn't ask for, loss, disappointment, failure, heartbreak, things that knock you sideways and leave you wondering how you'll ever get back up. And in those moments you have a choice. You can fight against reality, replaying what should have been, drowning in the unfairness of it all. Or you can acknowledge what has happened and look for the way through, acknowledging that something happened, that it hurt, that it changed you, that it matters, isn't the same as saying it was okay or that you deserved it. It's simply recognizing that this is now part of your story, and what you do with that story is up to you. Some of the strongest people you'll ever meet aren't the ones who never fell. They're the ones who fell, and fell hard, and somehow found the courage to stand back up. They didn't pretend it didn't hurt. They didn't minimize their pain. They felt it, accepted it, and then decided that their story wasn't over yet. Because here's what acceptance teaches us. Life isn't about avoiding the fall. It's about learning to rise. And you can't rise if you won't first accept that you've fallen. There are thoughts you carry that don't make you stronger, beliefs that weigh you down, ideas about who you should be that have nothing to do with who you actually are. Maybe it's the voice that says you're not good enough. Maybe it's the grudge you're holding on to because letting go feels like losing. Maybe it's the version of your life you thought you'd have by now, and the disappointment that reality looks different. Letting go isn't weakness. It's one of the bravest things you can do. Because holding on to resentment, to unrealistic expectations, to the need to be right, to people who are meant for your history but not your future, that's what's actually keeping you stuck. When you surrender to what is, when you release what was, you create space for what will be. You free up your hands to reach for something new. You lighten your load enough to actually move forward. And here's the secret: acceptance gives you power. When you're no longer spending all your energy resisting reality, you suddenly have that energy available for something else, for healing, for growing, for creating, for living. When you accept yourself, truly accept yourself, you give others permission to do the same. Your presence becomes an invitation, a safe space where people don't have to pretend to be perfect, because we're all exhausted from trying to be flawless. We're all tired of the performance, the masks, the constant measuring up. When someone has the courage to simply be themselves, imperfect and real, it's like oxygen in a room where everyone's been holding their breath. This is the gift unconditional acceptance offers, not just to yourself, but to everyone around you. It says you don't have to earn my love. You don't have to prove your worth. You're enough exactly as you are right now. And when you can extend that grace to yourself, extending it to others becomes natural. The judgments soften, the comparisons fade. You stop needing others to be perfect because you finally stop demanding it of yourself. So here's what I want you to know. You alone are enough. Right now, in this moment, with all your flaws and failures and fears, you are enough. You don't have to wait until you've lost the weight, earned the degree, fixed all your problems, or become some idealized version of yourself. You're worthy of love and acceptance right now, not in spite of your imperfections, but as a whole person who includes them. Owning your story, the beautiful parts and the broken parts, is the bravest thing you'll ever do. Because when you own it, when you stop running from it, or hiding it, or apologizing for it, that's when you take back your power. That's when no one can use your past against you. That's when you stop letting external voices define your worth. Start small if you need to. Look in the mirror tomorrow, and instead of cataloging everything you want to change, try simply acknowledging who you see. This is me. This is where I am. And that's okay. When you make a mistake, and you will, practice responding to yourself like you would to a friend, with compassion, with understanding, with the recognition that being imperfect doesn't make you unworthy. Let go of one thing that's weighing you down. Just one. Maybe it's a belief about yourself that isn't true. Maybe it's trying to meet someone else's expectations. Maybe it's being right in an argument that doesn't matter anymore. Choose one thing and practice releasing your grip on it. And remember this: accepting yourself doesn't mean you stop growing. It means you stop growing from a place of self-hatred and start growing from a place of self-love. And that makes all the difference. The world will keep trying to make you into something else. It will keep offering you new standards to measure yourself against, new ways to fall short. But you have the power to refuse that battle. You have the power to be in a loving relationship with yourself rather than an adversarial one. So accept yourself, not as a destination, but as a practice, not as perfection, but as progress. Accept where you are so you can move forward. Accept what was so you can embrace what will be. Accept who you are so you can discover who you might become. Because here's the truth they don't tell you: the greatest accomplishment isn't becoming someone you're not. It's having the courage to be exactly who you are, in a world that would prefer you be anything else. You deserve your own love and affection as much as anyone in this entire universe. Start there. Start with acceptance and watch how everything begins to change.